Tonight, go inside the secret world of Antz with Sharon Stone.
I've been kidnapped by the village idiot.
Woody Allen.
I was not cut out to be a worker.
And Bancroft.
He asked for your hand in marriage.
Danny Glover.
I like you, kid. You got a sense of humor.
Gene Hackman.
We must strike now. We have the element of surprise.
Jennifer Lopez.
You fill in any more and you'll explode.
Sylvester Stallone.
So you pick the dirt up, you move it.
Christopher Walken.
The thing is, Princess, I got orders.
And a team of artists and filmmakers who have created the world's greatest ant movie.
We're the lords of the earth.
And join some of the world's leading ant experts.
You can't see it in my little puppet ant here, but ants do have a very, very small tongue.
How do ants survive brutal attacks, both natural and unnatural? How do ants perform bizarre mating rituals? And how badly has Hollywood treated ants in the past?
It's not my idea of a rewarding career.
Find out. It's all tonight on The Secret World of Antz.
Hi, I'm Sharon Stone, and I'm proud to be a part of a very special movie, Antz. It's a modern-day fairy tale where I play a seductive princess. A classic romance with hundreds, actually thousands of men, all interested in me. Of course, I'm not just any princess. I'm a princess ant.
Stop! I order you to stop, worker! Hey, I got a name, okay? It's Z.
And believe it or not, it's a love story. That was my co-star, Z, voiced by Woody Allen.
Bala and I, she's a princess and I'm a soil relocation engineer.
Who would have thought? Me teaming up with Woody Allen again. But you know, he's quite the leading man. You're not like anyone else. When I read the script for Antz, I realized there was a whole world I had never thought about. The story is about a single worker who is grappling with something most of us struggle with.
Supposed to do everything for the colony, and what about my needs? What about me?
This ant in a million finds himself in love with, of all things, a princess.
Youch.
Discovers an over-the-rainbow wonderland called Insectopia.
Bright, sunshiny day.
Inadvertently ends up in the middle of a war with acid-spewing termites. And leads a revolution against a villainous army ant. He's got all the things I like in a guy. No ant colony can survive and prosper without a queen. Ours is voiced by Bancroft.
Now, it's not all that bad being princesses.
Oh, Mother, don't be so dramatic.
She does very little, except make babies and tell everybody what to do. That's her job, and I do that very well. I've been practicing that for years.
Jane Curtin and Dan Aykroyd are the voices for a pair of waspy wasps.
Now, please, Moppy, not another crusade.
Chippy, we have a social obligation to the less fortunate. I think maybe because she flies, she feels superior.
Huh?
That's a good one.
Danny Glover is a soldier ant who meets a soldier's heroic destiny.
You new kid.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Name's Barbados.
Together, we're invincible.
Jennifer Lopez is Z's spunky co-worker, Azteca.
It's not about you. It's about us, the team.
Suit yourself. Me, I'm cutting loose.
Weaver, Z's best friend, is voiced by my pal, Sylvester Stallone.
Big guy coming through.
Grant Shout is terrific as the voice of an ant who's a real suck-up to the big boss.
Everybody is working, full tilt as it is, and...
You can't help it. It's your nature.
General Mandible, cool, calculating, and evil,
Where is Z?
is voiced by Gene Hackman.
What matters is the colony. To fight for the colony. To die for the colony.
It seems extreme.
And Christopher Walken as a psychotic second banana to General Mandible. Oh, and then there's me, Princess Bala.
I've been traveling, and I'm all schlumpy.
Up to now, I've played a gunslinger, a futuristic secret agent, and a psychosexual killer.
Youch.
But for this movie, I had a whole new challenge. Getting into the skin of an ant. I knew I had a lot of research to do. In 1954, ants made their first major theatrical appearance in The Naked Jungle.
This was their enemy, the man-eating marabunta. And here in the naked jungle, you'll share the dangers of their epic struggle against the deadliest force in all of nature.
That same year, things got a lot worse. Ants were cast in the movie Them as giant 12-foot mutants. They made their television debut in The Outer Limits. They were portrayed as mindless warrior drones in The First Men in the Moon. By 1974, it seemed ants would be forever typecast as grotesque monsters when they starred in Phase 4.
These giant ants are actually able to control humans.
In 1977, they co-starred with Joan Collins in their own movie entitled Empire of the Ants. Disgusting, isn't it? Hollywood has never treated ants as more than just one-dimensional characters, until now. I found that with the ants, in Antz, they could be as intelligent, inventive as they really are. Like when Z hooks up with a couple of million other workers to form an ant wrecking ball.
Did I happen to mention that the heights make me nauseous?
No.
While Casablanca has Rick's Place and Star Wars has its Alien Bar, Antz has Chug.
2 aphid beers.
Why'd I have to be born a worker? You soldiers get all the glory, plus you get to go out in the world. You know, you meet interesting insects, you get to kill them.
That's when my character walks in.
What a bunch of losers. Mindless zombies capitulating to an oppressive system.
Hi. Want to dance?
Absolutely.
And then, just as we meet, we're pulled apart.
When can I see you again?
Let me think. Never. Bye.
Wait.
I'm not that easy to get.
Coming up next, Z really turns on the charm. Plus, a look inside the world of ants with those who know them best.
I became interested in ants only after becoming one in a movie. But there are some who have been fascinated with them their entire lives.
First of all, ants are insects. And all insects have 6 legs.
Hey, you got a problem?
They have a head, 2 very, very large eyes. They have a thorax. This would be analogous to a human being's chest and back. Ants are like people in the sense that reproduction is the goal of evolution.
You're the one who was cruising the worker bar looking for a little action.
You and I are talking with sound, ants talk with chemicals. Suppose an ant wants to say, come mate with me. I'm attracted to you.
What if he doesn't want to?
Since it has to communicate by chemicals, it needs a different chemical for everything that it wants to say.
She was the one making all the moves.
That chemical might say, if it was a queen, to a male, I am ready to mate. And after they mate with the queen, they drop dead.
Gee.
If you're an army ant, you want meat. You want other insects. If you're a fungus-growing ant, then you only want to eat a fungus. The way they do that is cut down leaves, mix it with a little saliva, grow a fungus on that mixture, and eat the fungus.
Suddenly I've lost my appetite.
I'm fascinated with these organisms because, like human beings, they are very, very social.
Every worker in the colony is here.
They have complex forms of communication.
Hey, wait a minute. That guy owes me money.
That's why I do it.
Now, let's be honest. There are a lot of us who kept a few of them around as pets.
I got the idea that why not come out with an all-plastic ant farm? I don't think there's anything more fascinating on Earth than the ant. If you will take an ant farm and study the ants as they're working in the farm, you will see that certain ants in there perform certain duties. There are happy ants and unhappy ants, just like people.
What about my needs? What about me?
There are ants that are bullies.
Buckle up, Spanky.
There are ants that are sissies. And I think you can find a parallel between ants and the human race. They like to drink, too. Did you ever see an ant wobble? I made close to $3 million on ants. Wouldn't you like them?
And while ants are one of the most dominant organisms on Earth, there are some people in Hollywood who are glad they haven't unionized yet, such as Ray Mendez, ant trainer.
The hardest part of my job is to be an educator and a communicator with the crew and the director. The ants are, they don't put up with too much nonsense. One of the things that you have to be very careful of is making sure that the ants you're working with are all of the same colony. Otherwise, you just have a ball of, little legs and heads flying as they chop each other up. You can't make an ant do anything, so if you're in a hurry to get them to do it, go pick another subject. Something a little bit crazier. Maybe flies. For moving the ants from one place to another, it's very important to have the right kind of housing. The ants go into these trap boxes that have screens on top, and they get aspirated. And this has a filter at the back so that the ants don't get sucked into your mouth. In order for us to find the kind of numbers of ants that I might need for a commercial, I would need to find a colony that's under a big flat rock where there's more of them all at once to be collected. We did a telephone commercial some years back where the ants carried a phone, and as a gag, at the end, I wanted to, the guy who fell off the train, hey man, where am I? And a little ant runs out and follows the chemical trail, and it gives you the perfect cartoon character at the back of it. So, for myself as a wrangler, it's like a marriage. I have to marry the right ant to the right job to make sure that the director looks great, because that is what we're all here for.
Oh, really? A lunatic at 3 o'clock.